So here we have the FTDI adapter set up to it. Now what you need to do is remember to read and make sure these correspond. So the main one is the voltage, connects to the voltage. I don't know whether I can get that in there close enough to see, but you need to make sure you line up all the information on this board with that board there, and that's how it looks for me on this guide. So again, if we have a look at this, the top corner is the D and the T and the R. So again, if we have a look at this, there's the board connected up, there's the D there, hopefully you can see that, but that's how it looks on the board there with the pins. That's why I put the pins on it. So with your OSD connected to your computer, we're going to run the 1.5 software, so I'm assuming that you already know a lot of the stuff here. So we open up the Arduino, we go board, so it is the Arduino Pro mini board, 5 volt with the 328 chip, and we go to the serial port COM and we are at 18, so we know that we're connected. We go File, Examples, EEPROM, Clear EEPROM. You get this, you then upload, and you will notice, we should zoom back a bit, that it's now done uploading, so we can close that. We can now go to the config system there. Now there's a couple of things to choose in here, and this is the only screen you muck around with, is the config H. So the white spy, the bigger of the board, the bigger board is the white spy board, this guy here. If you want to flash with the mini, the tiny little mini board, you use the next one down, the micro. Okay, so again, if you want to select it, it's just a matter of removing those 2 backslashes, and it's highlighted. Again, I'm running clean flight, and basically that's all I did. I didn't touch anything else on the whole program there. You can change the baud rates, but 115200 is fine. Again, nothing I changed. So that's all I selected was the board, and all I did was upload that, and that is uploading as we speak. If we get a orange screen down here, we know we've got an issue, but there's 30,168 bytes of 30,720 area on the chip, so the program is well and truly big enough to fit on the chip. So it's uploading there as we speak, and if I don't know whether that'll come up, but it'll show you on the FTDI that it's the little red light. So now it's saying upload is done. We are now done. So we can actually close that and say yes, thanks. So the next thing now is selecting your graphic user interface, or your GUI or your GUI, and you open up. Now you get 2 files when you download the 1.5. So one is the Arduino sketch and the other one is this sketch here. So I've selected the Windows 32 because the 32-bit is what my computer is. So I click on that, and I should get that screen right there. So we'll just make sure we've got everything in there. So we know we were COM port 18, so we select COM port 18 and we get everything up. Now there's only a couple of steps to go through here. One is select the font tool. Now with these ones you get bold, large, just large, and you also get the default. So I use the default. Click on that, say open, you'll get this. You click on that, it's done. You then need to hit the upload button. You'll see here that it's transmitting again and again. Your OSD is flashing there, and you can see the 2 lights I was talking about, both sides. This is your video end of your chip, this is your processing end of the chip, or the 328 chip there. So that's working. you'll notice that these numbers here are going up to 256, so once it's at 256 it'll stop and settle down, and basically that's programmed. So we'll just wait for that to finish and we're done. Okay, and now we're all done. Now you might look at this screen and think, well, I kind of don't want all that. It is set up for multi-wheel boards that you've got GPS and baro and magnometer on it, and so you can set your height and your distance travelled, and basically I don't want that. For a Mini I just want a couple of things. So display voltage of your main flight controller. Now this is your video. If you want that second battery, as I mentioned there before, you click that and it'll give you two. You'll notice here on the screen, if I turn that off and on, you'll get the different second battery. So we'll go ahead and we'll leave that on. We can go down to RSSI. We press display RSSI. You don't have to do anything in there. Enable the ADC, which is the analog to digital converter. So press that. I leave all this as it is. Flight displays, that is your horizon acro, so I'll leave that on. Now the flight mode sensor I don't use. There's no gimbal, there's no vario, there's no baro. I like the timer, which is this timer here. If I turn that on and off, you'll see that come on and off on the screen. I leave that. I don't have the horizon bars, I don't have the side bars, the scrolling, the direction. We're not using GPS. We're not using GPS coordinates. We don't want the compass. We don't need the heading. So lo and behold, we're back now to horizon mode, or our modes that we want. Our two batteries, our RSSI, our armed, and our time there. Now you can move those around if you like, and the way to do that is to go to Layout Editor, and then you come down to you find the one that you want, and you'll see down here a lot of the stuff's still enabled because I've just modified. I haven't actually written to the board yet. So angle to home, GPS, sensor, heading, compass, none of this stuff we've got. Climb rate on. So if I want to move that flying time up and down, I can do that, or left or right, so I can put that wherever I want. So arm status, I like the arm status up fairly high, so I can move that up to the middle of the screen. Now it'll disappear when it's armed and after a few seconds. So pitch angle, roll angle, latitude, longitude, RSSI. You might want your RSSI in the middle here, so we'll move that to the right a little bit, and then we'll move that down. Now you've got your two batteries, and that's how you might want to see it. So for the sake of that, we'll leave it at that. We go down to write, we write that to the board, and basically that is how it is all set up. What you do is these numbers here, these don't really represent anything other than just numbers that you need to modify, but you can do that in the with the sticks on your radio, which is a lot easier to do. But if you want to move that, you put your cursor over it, you left click, and then you just drag the cursor, doesn't matter which way, but down or up. If you go up, well, 0 can't go any higher, so I can go down. Once I take my finger off it, it'll stay where it wants to be. So I'll leave that there. The last thing here is I don't need, in these modes down here, I don't need anything. I don't need camera stabilization, mag, or barometer, so I can turn them off. And what it means then is this up here, when I flick from horizon, which I take off and land in, to acro, which is I normally fly in, they're the only two modes I'll have. So I'll go down the board and I'll rewrite that. Just do a double check on the read, just to make sure that all your settings are fine. And basically, that's it. That's all you need to do for your mini quad OSD so far. So we'll disconnect and we'll throw it on the rig, and we'll have a look and see how that looks.